Hi everyone, welcome to another video on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which we got a lot more gameplay footage for at UbiForward. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll put the link in the description below for the full 30-minute footage overview, and you can go check that out yourself. But before we get into the gameplay and also my thoughts on it, I just wanted to let you guys know and mention again, out of all the people that watch my videos, only 0.03% of you are subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, it helps me out a lot. And follow me on Twitch because that's where I'm going to be mainly streaming. I do stream on YouTube once in a while, but I want to switch over to Twitch, so follow me there as well. Once I get over 50 followers, I will start streaming there. I'm at 41 right now, so please do that. It would help me out a lot as well. Now, let's get into the gameplay. So right off the bat, we get to see some visceral combat. And as you can see, Eivor is very proficient in combat. Just knocking people back and forth, destroying them with spears, and hitting them in the face with the flail and knocking their heads off. It's pretty awesome. Also, using their own weapons against them, and then we move on to this footage of us attacking a castle. I'm going to pause it quickly right here, and basically just look at that lightning. That lightning looks amazing, and it looks a lot like Shadow of War. These raids, well, this is not a raid, this is an attack on a castle, so it looks a lot like Shadow of War where you've got your crew versus you've got your army, and then you run in and you destroy the fortress gates, and then you get inside and you fight at different points in the fortress, and then at the end you have a boss that you have to fight. It looks like that's the case here, but this is related to one of the main quest lines for East Anglia. We won't get into that, and let's skip forward. Alright, here we're going to be fighting Rued, who was holding the king of East Anglia hostage. And a few things I want to point out here. So if you look at the left, you can see your skills that you can use. There's some with bows, there's Raven Sight, there's also one with a blade as well as an arrow with a face looking type of thing. I don't know what that one is. And then on the right hand side, you've got a kick, the Spartan kick most likely, or that might be the stomp, I don't know. You've got the throwing axes, you've got the gut punch, it looks like, and then the same skill as a sword with the lightning on it. I don't know what that's from. Um, and these boss fights, they go pretty long. And I don't know what the hearts around your, or that heart, 8 heart means. But as you can see, whenever you dodge, that blue bar does go down. It does replenish as you're attacking. So I think that might be stamina, and it's only related to dodging. So it only goes down when you dodge, but it goes up every time you land an attack or hit someone. And you can hear Eivor breathing heavily when the bar goes down to 0, and then it replenishes, and then you can dodge again. So I think you're going to have to time your dodges pretty well in this. It's kind of Dark Souls-esque in that way in terms of the combat. Uh, but other than that, it looks pretty straightforward. It looks very similar to most other Assassin's Creed uh, games. And there it is, the stomp. And I don't know why the skills don't go on cooldown. I'm guessing they had God mode on or something. But I'm sure that when you're playing the game, these skills will go on cooldown when you use them. And let's skip forward to another section. So here we have Eivor riding on her horse. And as you can see, the map or the compass is very clean. There's literally nothing there other than your main quest icon. And then there's a few other dots that you can see. There's a blue dot, there's another blue dot, there's a gold dot that's coming into view. And these, it looks like, are your side quests or places of interest or exploration that you can go to. There's that gold dot right there. Um, and basically, it seems like exploration in this game is going to be a lot better than it was in previous games, specifically Odyssey. In Odyssey, if you recall, you could basically go anywhere and there would be a million icons that you could click on or see in relation to any given place. Um, and I don't think that's the case in Valhalla anymore, which is pretty awesome. And I'm looking forward to that aspect of it because I love to explore. There's even horse stamina. If you look at the bottom there, you can see the horse stamina. So as you're riding through, you can speed up and trot and so on, and it'll reduce the stamina as you do so. So it's pretty cool. So every aspect of the game is a little more realistic in that sense. And let's move on. Let's talk about raids. So raids can happen anytime, anywhere. So as soon as you see a settlement like this, you can dock your longship and you can go for a raid. It's pretty awesome. You just blow your horn and you're going for a raid. So it's pretty cool in that sense. You can land anywhere or dock anywhere. You don't need to have a specific docking point, and it can go anywhere on the land or in the waterways. So in that sense, it's pretty cool. And once you get to these spots, you can kill the enemies, and then once you've killed them, you can loot. And there's probably going to be a boss battle in each one of these places, and you can get things like weapons. And the weapons are few and far between, but they're very different in each aspect. And if you look here, there's notes. From what I've heard, it looks like these notes are going to be everywhere, and they're going to tell a story of each place. So here, we killed the boss, and you can see that it says LG for the royal martyr. Here lies King Edmund, father of East Anglia, a good and godly man. May he lie here in peace, surrounded by the children of God, until doomsday, when the dust shall return to the earth, and the spirit shall return unto heaven. Lord have mercy on his soul. So it looks like the Danes had taken over here, and we just came and freed the village, and we're gonna go in and take these abilities too. So these books that you find in throughout the world will give you new abilities. So you won't really necessarily be leveling up specific abilities that are related to the game. They will just come, and you will be able to get them like that. So the range and the melee, and you'll be able to upgrade them one at a time, and that's what it looks like. With respect to the weapons as well, you'll notice that when you're in the menu, you've got things like the red and the blue. And at the bottom, if you look below that power thing, you'll see that the red is a bear, the blue it looks like is a wolf, and the yellow is a raven. So these are the different, I guess, skill or archetypes of weapons. And as you can see, when you look at this axe, the Varen's axe, or Varen's axe, not the Varen's axe, it's got a bear at the top, and it's also got the type of weapon it is. So superior. It's a superior weapon, so that's where I think you'll see the grades of the weapons. And then if we move over to the flail, the spinning death, it says it's a fine flail. So I think that's a lower tier of weapon. I'm sure you'll find some Raven type weapons as well. Or Raven, if you look at the gear here, these probably are Raven. The boots, the gauntlets, and the chest piece, it looks like a Raven. And the wolf, it looks like is the bow and the flail, and then she's got the bear axe. Another thing you'll notice here is rations on the left-hand side. So in Valhalla, you don't auto regen health. You have to eat rations in order to regen your health. Um, so you can eat them while in battle, or you can eat them while you're walking around. And each time you get into battle, when you get out of it, your health stays where it was at the end of that battle. So you can't just auto regen health as soon as you fight enemies and beat them. And on the right hand side, you see the bag, and the bag inside has these materials, and these materials are used to upgrade your weapon or your armor. And I'm assuming you can also upgrade weapons. So if you look at your boots, your gloves, and your chest piece, you'll notice that they are all upgradable at this point. And I believe it was stated that when you upgrade armor, it changes its appearance. And they will have transmog in the game as well, so you'll be able to change the look of Eivor without having to take off armor pieces. And at the bottom right, another interesting aspect of this is the Animus. You have a control to be able to go to the Animus. So you can get out of the game anytime you want and explore the real world. They also said that they integrated the real world into the game by allowing you to have places where Layla can basically go and do things in Eivor's world. So you'll have fragments of shards of the Animus and anomalies, basically, where it'll switch from Eivor to Layla, and Layla will be able to use all the skills and stuff from Eivor and be able to traverse the world that way, which is pretty interesting. And I'm looking forward to that aspect of it. And if you look at I honestly still don't know what that heart thing is. I really want to know what that is, but I don't know what that is. They've also added back into the game the ability to have a cinematic view of your longship, in the sense that it'll follow the waterway and you won't have to control it. So you can follow the waterways and just look at the world around you, which is pretty awesome. And you can also get a cat to be a raider on your ship. So there's a quest where you can have a cat join your ship's crew, and it'll chill on the ship and go anywhere with you and raid with you, which is pretty cool. Um, I did mention this in my previous video, where you'll have the ability to fish, and you'll be able to fish, it looks like anywhere. It doesn't have to be in your settlement. You can fish essentially anywhere, and you can use your fishing rod and throw it out. And in the background, you can see this kid called Asta. I'm pretty sure they'll have a significant role to play in the game. I'm thinking it's going to be a Phoebe-like character where they might die. That's just my guess. And the fish can be used as rations in battle. Um, so I don't know if you'll get to cook your fish. I would be surprised if you didn't get to cook. And at the top, once again, of your, if you look at the compass, the north way, you'll see that the 2 stars, and I think that just tells you it's a safe area, and there isn't going to be any conquest or battle or anything like that there. And once again, the clean HUD. I love the clean HUD. It's pretty awesome. And then this is a point of interest that you found, and you can interact with it. These are shrines, they said, and you can donate to the gods or give an offering to the gods. And here you get a pretty interesting interaction with some random kids. So these interactions will exist throughout the world, and you'll get them when you go to certain locations. So it's pretty good to explore, because then you'll find different things. Um, and then also you'll be chasing to get your tattoos like you used to in Black Flag. You have to chase to get your shanties, the scrolls. So in here, that's the only time really you're gonna get to use parkour, and even then it's basically a course. It's not really something naturally occurring. So keep that in mind. Parkour is not really that great an aspect of this game. It doesn't really exist um, on its own. It's kind of a part of a vacuum. Another cool aspect is when you find any locations in the world, basically you will be able to go in and loot anywhere or find things anywhere. And there will be slight puzzles in these places. For example, in this one, the doors don't open, so you have to shoot an arrow through a window to open it, and then get in and get the stuff. Um, but once again, the world building is pretty cool, because if you look at this note, it's from the wife, and it says, "My love, I write these lines to you as you sleep as soundly as a babe, but I worry your health will falter without more herbs. Should you wake and find this note before I return, know that I would never abandon you. I've locked the doors from the outside for fear of wolves or worse, Danish raiders. You must hide should they come. Love you always, Edith." But the guy, it looks like, has already died, because he is not awake, and he's just laying there like a petrified corpse, which kind of sucks. And his wife's probably going to die too, because she'll come back and there's wolves outside. Maybe she killed the wolves, I don't know, and then she died. It looks horrific. But anyways, um, then you also get these little mini boss battles, like this lady, and they say that what causes you to be able to hallucinate and see the supernatural aspect of it is due to being poisoned at the start of this battle. That being said, I would really like to see some Norse mythology in the game, and I'm sure we will get some. And I just want Mjolnir. I want to be able to hold Mjolnir and use it to kill people. Another aspect of the game is the cairn building. This, it looks like, gives you a backstory for Eivor, and Rostar, I think, is probably your mother, and young Eivor, how to do things, build these cairns to basically um, relax and clear the mind and build the mind. So that's an interesting aspect as well. I wasn't really too into the cairn building when I first saw it, but seeing it and realizing that it has something to do with the history is pretty cool. Um, and then we finally see some decisions that result in different things, and also some party games at the wedding. And sparing Rued before results in him coming to the wedding and crashing it, and then you basically kill him, and it's done based on the gameplay. And it looks like that's some aspects of the game that are pretty interesting. You can still one shot, as we already know, with the hidden blade, but they didn't really show that in here. I'm sure they'll show that going forward. It looks pretty interesting. You can put your cloak on and stealth as well, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Here, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.